is to the north, but we can't go there yet. We actually have to go to the right first. Avoid the fish as you work your way towards this cave. Once inside the cave, though, you'll find out quickly that you can't really go anywhere, as the area is actually blocked. Once you see that, back out of the area, and you'll actually be already back here inside your bubble. Now we can actually go north in that section, as we'll actually be pulled upwards towards the surface of the water. Once on the surface of the water, start working your way across the water on each platform. Be careful about the fish that are going to keep jumping out trying to hit you. You can turn the fish actually into smaller fish by using your magic cape on them. Just be patient and watch out for the fish as you make your way across these platforms. A platform or two will actually start to deflate once you land on top of them, so you may have to be quick on a couple of them. Once you reach the end of the area, you'll get back in your bubble, head underwater, and now go to a sunken ship. Thankfully, the fish around us won't actually hurt us. Once inside the ship, we get out of the bubble, and we start making our way through, but be very careful because the ground will start to break below you. Be careful as you make your way through the next section because of the pitchforks that may fall on you as you're making your way through. When you fall down here, there's going to be some sharks popping out of the bottom with knives attached to them, so be very careful while making your way through that area. Once you reach the top of the stairs here, be ready to run because you're going to have to make your way through this area very quickly before the water rises up or you'll lose a life. You'll reach the end just in time, even running full speed, so you have to make sure you're running in that spot. Once you get past a few more knife sharks, it's time for a boss battle. This boss battle is a giant shark as it's moving its way back and forth across the room. It can't hurt you as it's moving back and forth below the surface, but once it travels a few times, it will then pop up and charge at you. Be ready to attack it with your cape. When you attack it while it's moving and it flashes, it won't do damage to you as it passes through your body. It doesn't take too many hits to defeat this boss, but you have to be ready as it's going to pop up and then start to try to jump over you, and then it'll try to charge at you again. After 6 or so hits, you'll defeat it, grab the chest, and complete the level. Once back in the water, we reach the surface and we pop out and we realize we're in a fishbowl. So now we're in a very oversized area, very similar to the level from Castle of Illusion. Be careful and jump along the staplers, and be sure to be ready as the pencils are bouncing back and forth. When you make it over to the right, jump on the pegs from this pegboard to reach the next level. You'll use your magic spell in order to transport yourself to another area of the stage. Once here, go to the left and enter the book. This area inside this book, as you can see, is a pretty interesting level as you have different pop-ups that are in the background. There's card-shaped dogs that are going to charge at you and you're going to take a couple hits in order to defeat them, so the best case scenario is really just to jump over them. When you grab this mystery bag right here, a rocket will come out and defeat all the enemies currently on screen. Once you reach the end of the area, you're going to have to jump on top of the lock button in order to cause the bridge to fall down. You'll have to pass a couple more dogs and then you'll reach the end of this book area. Once back inside the house, you'll then continue up bouncing off the stapler to get to the next area of the stage. Teleport yourself through another box to go to another area of the level. Once we slide down this hill, we'll jump inside of a cookie tin to go to a cookie-filled level. Just like the dessert level from Castle of Illusion, this one's probably one of my favorites just because of the way the level looks. It's pretty colorful and just the weird design of it gives it a very unique feel. We have many different enemies to deal with, including gingerbread men, as well as candy planes. There's also going to be candy canes flying at you, so be sure to get ready to dodge them. When we work our way to the left here, we're going to bounce along and make our way across these wafers to get to the next platform. Once you get past a couple more enemies, we're going to see some jello in the ground. Jump inside the jello as it pushes your way down to the next platform. Fall through another jello and then one more in order to make it to the next area of the stage. Our boss battle for this stage is against Madam Min from the Disney classic Sword in the Stone. She flies around and you will be able to get a good amount of hits on her while she's moving around, but when she does stop at some point she will launch some fireballs into the air. Since she moves around really slowly, you'll actually be able to get a lot of hits in her, and you may actually be able to defeat her before she's able to even get one of her fireballs off. Our next stage starts off inside this forest area with lots of different enemies from Alice in Wonderland. We start off with these card soldiers, and we're actually be able to use our new magic spell we just got in order to cause the cards in order to fall out in the different formations, allowing us to get to different platforms. The card soldiers that are enemies in this level do take multiple hits to destroy them, so be careful and don't rush while destroying them. When you reach the bells, jump up to the tree, and then you'll have to use your magic spell to cause another set of cards to build up. Once on top, there's some more cards, and these cards are a little bit tricky as they're making their way through, so be careful not to rush, or you may accidentally jump inside the pit. After we have one more set of card soldiers, we're going to go into the next part of the stage, which is inside of a giant hedge maze. The hedge maze itself is a little bit difficult to traverse. There's two different versions of it. You kind of have this green summer version, and then you have kind of a fall-winter version. To get between the two different versions, you have to either fall through a hole or use a spring. The green versions, or summer versions, have holes that get made by these different birds that will saw a hole in the ground, and once they do, you'll be able to fall down and go to the next area. Once the hole is made, fall down, and you'll be in the winter area. Now we actually have to make our way through, and we're trying to find one of these enemies which will cause a spring to appear and send us back into another area of the summer place. This area is definitely confusing, and it may take you a few minutes to get the hang of it, because there's going to be certain springs which will end up just causing you to loop around. Up here is the one that we want to hit in order to cause the spring to appear and send us to the next area. Once we're back in the summer area, just go to the left, defeat the bird, and he'll make another hole appear. Travel upwards and then head to the right to get the next spring to send you back into the summer area. Once we're back here, climb up the last pair of stairs, work your way over to the left, and destroy the final bird in order to go one more time back to that fall area. Once you're back here, just walk over to the right to get to the exit. This next area starts off with this wizard causing holes to appear inside of the ground. Quickly make your way over and be very careful of the enemies as well as the holes that appear so you don't accidentally fall in and lose a life. Once you reach the end though, start heading up the stairs. Defeat all the weird Mad Hatter-esque enemies as you're making your way through this area, and be careful because you're going to have to look to the back in order to see shadows after you hit the light switch. After you head up another staircase, be sure to wait by the spikes as a carriage will come over and carry you over to another carriage as you make your way across the spikes. Try to do your best to avoid the wizard as he flies overhead as you're making your way across these carriages. You'll then come to a box, jump inside of it, and